A man invited his entire family to a summer barbecue. His wife was there. His kids were there. His parents were there. Then a woman walked through the gate holding a phone, and everything fell apart in front of everybody. This story comes from a message sent to the Let Me Pull Your Coat podcast. Before we get into the story, follow the podcast and visit the website, letmepullyourcoat.com. And check out the new series, True Tales from the Let Me Pull Your Coat podcast. These are real stories based on real situations people have written in about. No sugarcoating, just decisions and the consequences that follow. Now let's get into this one. Derek lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, mid-30s, construction supervisor, 2 kids, married for 8 years. From the outside, his life looked solid. House, family, stable income. But Derek had a problem a lot of men create for themselves. He liked attention. And attention always starts harmless. A compliment at work, a conversation at lunch, a few text messages. That is how he met Vanessa. Vanessa worked at a nearby office building. At first, it was just flirting. Then it became drinks after work. Then it became something else. Derek told himself the same lie people always tell themselves. No one will ever find out. And for a while, that seemed true. Months passed. Derek managed both lives carefully. Family man at home. Secret relationship on the side. Vanessa eventually started asking questions. Where is this going? When are you leaving your wife? Derek gave the same answer every man in that situation gives. Soon. But soon never comes. Because most people who cheat are not planning a new life. They are trying to maintain 2. One Saturday in July, Derek hosted a big family barbecue. His parents came. His cousins came. Neighbors came. Kids were running through the yard. Music playing. Grill smoking. It was the kind of afternoon where everyone looked relaxed. Derek's wife, Angela, was standing near the table organizing food trays. That is when the gate opened. And Vanessa walked in. No invitation, no warning. Just walked straight into the yard. At first, Derek thought he was hallucinating. His stomach dropped immediately. Vanessa was holding her phone, and she was not smiling. She walked right across the yard while everyone watched. The music slowly faded as people noticed something was wrong. Angela looked confused. "Can I help you?" she asked. Vanessa looked straight at Derek. Then she said something that froze the entire backyard. "I think your husband can." Derek tried to pull her aside. But Vanessa was not there for private conversation. She held up her phone. High-definition pics, text messages, hotel receipt, conversations, everything. Right there in front of Derek's wife. Right there in front of his parents. Right there in front of his kids. The entire yard went silent. Angela looked at Derek, and Derek knew the game was over. The argument exploded. Angela was furious. Derek tried to explain, tried to calm things down, but there's no calm explanation for betrayal, especially not in front of 50 people. Vanessa finally said the part that made everything worse. "I waited 6 months for you to tell her the truth," she said. "You said you were leaving her." Angela stared at Derek and asked the one question that ended everything. "Is that true?" Derek could not answer, because the truth was worse than the lie. That barbecue became the story everyone talked about. Within a week, Derek's job heard about it. His boss called him into the office, not because of the affair, but because the fight at the barbecue had ended up all over social media. Someone recorded the confrontation. The video spread, and the company did not want that kind of attention attached to one of their supervisors. Derek lost the position he had worked years to build. Angela filed for divorce 2 months later. And Vanessa disappeared the moment the truth was out, because exposing the lie was all she wanted. She did not actually want Derek. 2 years later, Derek lives in a small apartment, pays child support, works a smaller job, and every once in a while someone recognizes him. Because the internet never forgets, especially when humiliation happens in public. Here is the reality. Most affairs survive because they stay hidden. The moment sunlight hits them, everything collapses. You cannot juggle 2 lives forever. Eventually the lies collide, and when they do, they rarely explode in private. They explode in front of everybody. If you want more stories like this, follow the podcast and visit letmepullyourcoat.com. And check out the growing collection of stories and true tales from the Let Me Pull Your Coat podcast, only here on YouTube. Because every secret eventually meets daylight, and daylight is where consequences live. Tell me, would you have handled things the way Vanessa did? Would you have handled things the way Derek did? Did Angela do the right thing by divorcing Derek? We ask you these questions because even though we get these questions from real listeners, Like anyone else, our replies to them could be wrong. We sincerely want to know if we are giving out good advice. Leave a comment and tell us what you would have done or have done when or if this situation happened to you.